and this is my co-host Amelia.
Hi guys! So today's episode we're going to be talking about things we let our exes do and get away with and still stayed with them afterwards. And we put out a little thing on our social medias for people to pop up, and we did get a few messages as well with some juicy stories there.
Should we start off with our
so we've got them in like our notes and things. Well, I've had to text them to Chanel because I've not got my phone.
We will be like obviously reading it off our phones kind of thing.
We've wrote ours into like little stories as well, because I know what I'm like. If I'm reading it off my phone, I'm just gonna say it point blank how it is. I'm not gonna be able to phrase it into a story. I don't have the mental capacity to do that.
So we've done that, and
tell one of yours first.
Okay.
Just got deep, dive deep in.
Okay. So great. So let me tell you about one of the most unhinged men I have ever dated. So I used to date this guy who genuinely believed that property damage was a love language. Like, every single time that I said I was going to leave, whether it was calmly, respectfully, I wasn't even yelling at this point, and this man would, like, lose his shit. Like, I'm talking full-blown meltdowns, punching walls, smashing furniture, destroying his own flat like he was auditioning for Hoarder's Anger Edition. And I'd just be there like, are you okay? Like, because why am I the one who's acting calm while you're literally redecorating very violence? But then it gets worse. After he'd finished absolutely smashing his like place up, instead of apologising or going to therapy, he would that same night go out and cheat on me. Same pattern every single time, like clockwork. He would come back and say things like, "Look what you made me do." So what I made you do? I didn't download Tinder for you. I did not drag you to the club. I did not tell you to ruin your life in skinny jeans at 2:00 in the morning. Like, but somehow in his head, me having boundaries was like a trigger for him. And the worst part, I actually started to believe it. I was thinking, maybe if I didn't threaten to leave, maybe if I had stayed quiet, maybe if I just accepted the chaos, which is wild because the man was literally smashing up his own house, and then blaming me for the mess. It wasn't passion, it wasn't love, it was emotional manipulation with a side of indefinite. Oh, sorry, the cat jumped down on me. And the gag is, he really thought smashing up his flat and cheating proved how much he like hurt me. Like, babes, all you're doing is proving that you're emotionally unstable and bad with money. So yeah, that relationship taught me one thing: if a man responds to accountability by destroying his things and sleeping with strangers, that's not a soulmate. That is a warning label. So yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
How long were you with him after that?
Maybe we were like on and off for like 3 years. People definitely, if you know me, people will definitely know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, we were together for like 3 years on and off, and I was also, when we were off, I was seeing a girl. But yeah, and I just chose to stay with this man, and I was like, he loves me, oh my god. And yeah, no, he didn't love me. He did not love me.
The redecorating your house through violence thing got me so. But like, I've been there though. Like, I've had a man. I was stood at the bottom of his staircase one day, and you'll know who I'm on about when I say it. It's the only obvious one. But I was stood at the bottom of his staircase one day, and he was like on a rampage. And I don't even remember what he was on a rampage about, but he was having like a really shitty day, and he's just taking everything out on me. Next thing I know, baby gate launched from the top of the stairs down to the bottom.
No.
Yeah. And then like his bathroom walls being punched up, like the mirror in there.
Yeah,
and everything.
this guy literally would put holes in his walls,
like
his doors.
Are you called Kyle? Why are you getting mad?
Why are you getting so? Do you want a monster? Will that calm you down, love?
Honestly.
But like, this man literally like used me for my money and then like smashed his own flat up. Like, make fucking sense.
No.
But yeah, like. And I accepted that behaviour, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna change.
No, it's fine, I can fix him.
I come from chaos, so that to me was like, it was like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine, I can fix
But
it.
yeah, no. You cannot fix that man, by the way.
You
never.
can never fix a man. If you think you can fix him, the only thing that you can fix a man about is if he's missing a leg and you get him a prosthetic one. That's the only way you're fixing a man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So let's go with one of mine. So, I want to be really, really clear before I start this story, right? Me and my ex were not in a relationship at this point when all of this happened. This matters because for a long time, I'd let myself forget that it was the truth.
Yeah.
Because of how he acted. So here's what happened. I found out through other people, not even through him, that he'd slept with one of his ex-girlfriends. Someone I already didn't trust, someone whose name was always, like, on, like, the tip of my tongue. Like, it was always bothering me.
It was insulting.
She was just always in the back of my mind kind of thing. Like, she made my stomach drop and everything. And when I confronted him about it, he denied it. Like, flat out told me I was paranoid, dramatic, making things up. But here's the thing. We had each other on Life 360. So I'd seen his location at her house multiple times. So one night when I was out and I'd seen that he was with her, I drank a lot. And I was angry, as rightfully so.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the kind of anger that like makes you want to like lash out and like scream in someone's face. It was just like an anger in my chest that I could feel, and it was like a panic attack kind of anger. I don't really know
like
how
the tightness.
Yeah. It was like strange. It was like the first time I'd experienced that kind of anger before. And in that drunken rage, I did something a little bit reckless and slept with one of his friends.
Period.
He always claimed this was like one of his best friends, but honestly, from where I stood, they weren't that close. Like, it was a drinking buddy or someone that he'd like hop on Call of Duty with or something from time to time. And like, here's the part that still messes with me. I was lying in this guy's bed, and instead of it being like sexy and like us getting together and everything, how it was like how the hookup was supposed to go, we were talking and it got on to me talking about my ex and about the rumours and how crazy I felt. Because I felt like I was going insane because he was lying to me about it all.
And then making you feel crazy.
Yeah, literally. And then this guy looks at me and says, and he's like, well, he can lie all he wants and say he hasn't slept with her, but I've been sent pictures of him in her bed, so I know they have. And then he adds, like, almost casually, and you've seen his location at her house yourself, like, you know it's true.
There's no denying the location.
Yeah, literally, like,
no denying it.
I screenshotted it, I crashed out, like, I sent it to one of our friends at the time who we don't speak to anymore. You know who?
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was true. Like, I saw his location there, I knew something was going on. And like, suddenly I wasn't crazy anymore. I wasn't imagining things. I wasn't insecure or dramatic or toxic. I was right. Like, I was correct about this whole thing. And we slept, me and the guy I was seeing slept together not long after me and his mate did. And immediately after, he rolled over and started to cry, saying how much he missed his ex and that he was still in love with her. So I told him about me and his mate sleeping together.
Yeah.
Not to hurt him, but because I was angry. Like, it was like one of them things where you're just like, what the fuck? I've just been so vulnerable with you. And then you've gone and told me you're still in love with your fucking ex. Like, are you taking the piss? And like, I was fuming. I was. I literally got dressed and went out drinking. And like, that's when everything flipped. Like, he lost it completely. He called me every name under the sun, said I was disgusting, I was a slag, said I should go to hell, told me to kill myself, just pure relentless verbal abuse. And it was verbal abuse. I didn't see that at the time. And then he disappeared, didn't speak to me for like 2-3 weeks until, surprise, he needed money for drugs and he needed money for drinking. And all of a sudden he came back. And I, at this part, it realises I had no self-worth.
Yeah.
But like, when he came back, I didn't see it for what it was. I told myself like a little story, and I was like, he loves me, he needs me, he wants me back. So I went back to him, and like for the next 3 months, my life became a constantly apology to her for something I'd never actually done wrong. Like, he didn't trust me ever. He called me slag regular. Regular. Say it.
Yeah, regularly.
Thank you. And if we went somewhere this guy worked, I wasn't allowed to go in alone. And I wasn't allowed
to...
to...
little man.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to talk to him. I wasn't allowed to order drinks from him alone. I wasn't allowed anywhere near him. I had to delete him on Snapchat because apparently we were still talking all the time.
Wait, but did he still have his ex on
Oh,
Snapchat?
yeah. Yeah, of course he did.
Crazy.
But no, I was the crazy one for
That
being upset
sounds-
that he had his ex.
It sounds a bit like projection.
Yeah.
Projection.
Exactly.
It's finest.
And like, so I removed him from like Snapchat. I think maybe Instagram as well. Just because it made life easier. It wasn't an argument once he was gone.
Yeah.
Like, once he was like, oh yeah, he's gone, it's fine, it's over. It was fine. And then, but my behaviour got monitored after that. Like, whatever I did, it was being monitored.
Are you a child?
My Life 360 was being monitored. Why are you at so-and-so's house? Why are you there? And, like, it got used as a weapon against me. Like, what I did. And I understand, like, oh my god, she slept with her so-and-so, her whatever's best mate.
But they weren't best friends, as you stated.
Friends.
Yeah.
He claimed they were. The other one, I don't think he would claim they were best friends. Yeah. I think it's one of those situations. And at the time, I didn't realise, I think it was projection because he couldn't handle the guilt of what he'd done. Because he fucked up first. Yeah. And I was a very loyal woman before that. Like, I was loyal to a situationship.
You were so kind of caught up with the lies of him that, like, you kind of lost yourself along the way. And I think everyone kind of said that as well. Like, you weren't really the same. Like, obviously, like, you, like, kind of bouncing back now, but you weren't ever the same after that.
It took me so long. It took me probably until, like, November, December time to fully get back to being a lively woman again. Chanel's behind the camera going,
But yeah, no, that is... We don't like that man anyways.
No.
I don't think anyone who knows you doesn't like that man.
No. Chanel's going,
no. But no, like, yeah, projection at its finest. And I just think that, like, the fact that he was insecure about you having that man.
Yeah.
But yet he was allowed to still have
his
ex. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That is crazy. It's like one rule for one rule for another. But yeah.
But it's like, if I ever brought her up, like, why she tried to add me on social media, I was always scared I'd get a hey girly message, so I never added her back.
Yeah, no, that is...
But I remember crashing out to you about her once. And I feel bad because I know she wasn't the issue.
Yeah, like...
It's one of those things where she's just part of the issue, so you don't like
Yeah,
her.
like, we don't know what he was telling her, kind of thing. So, like, she could have thought, oh, they're not seeing each other anymore, they're not whatever they are anymore. So, like, yeah. But it's definitely, I think, 100% the man's fault. Because he knew what he was doing. He knew where he was going with that.
Exactly.
So, it's just, yeah.
Have you got another one?
I have a number two.
Right.
I have a number two. Oh god. So this is the time that I learned that trust issues just don't come out of the blue. They don't come from nowhere. So basically I was in a relationship with this guy. Funny enough, the same guy from the last story. So I was in Disneyland Paris, you know, happiest place on earth.
Oh god.
Supposed to be.
I know this story, that's why I'm all godding.
So I was walking around, taking pictures. We were, like, taking pictures by the castle, you know, just pretending my life was magical. And, you know, eating way overpriced food. Living my best main character life. And then my phone goes off. And I open it. And it's a picture. Not a meme. Not a cute, like, I miss you message. A picture of my then boyfriend in bed with my two best friends. All three of them in the same bed, covered in hickeys. Like, thank you for the evidence package. Like, okay, very HD, no room for me in there. Okay, we get that. Turns out they'd actually had a threesome. And while I was in another country...
Sorry, I'm laughing at you.
While I was in another country, in Disneyland, you know, and in the background of all this trauma, there was, like, the parade going on. You know, where everyone comes round on the floats, and I'm there crying my eyes out because my two best friends literally were in bed with my then boyfriend. And here's the part that still makes me, like, question my sanity, because I took him back. Not once, not twice, but about 7 or 8 times after that. Because somehow, like, in my own head, like, I had convinced myself that, you know, like, oh, it's not that deep. It was that deep. He was balls deep in them, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and I was like, oh, we can work through it, it'll be fine, like, yeah. But yeah, and I was like, this isn't a deal breaker, like, it should have been a deal breaker. But yeah, so my two best friends then had the dignity and then, like, you know, stayed with the man who had, like, ruined my fucking life. And the audacity was Olympic medal worthy. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, and then, like, looking back at it, like, I realised, like, obviously now I realise it wasn't love. It was an attachment issue mixed with a trauma bond, mixed with emotional and verbal abuse. But yeah, like, I trusted those two people with my life, and I never had a problem with, you know, my man having friends or being friends with my friends or hanging about with my friends while I wasn't there. Like, I didn't care about that. But then after that, like, it's like I didn't want, like, anyone I dated around any of my friends.
Windermere.
You know this, like, firsthand. Like, when I first got with my now fiance, like, we had, like, just met and we all went away together and, like, went to the lakes and stuff, and
So Simone was, like, in a place where she was like, I really want you and Reese to become good friends. And she's like, because Reese isn't really a outgoing social person and I think he needs more friends. So I took it upon myself to message Reese, whose number I had from Simone anyways.
From a night out.
Because she used to get me to text him so she didn't have to get told off about still being out. Not that he'd tell you off, but like
he'd
you
be
said
like,
you'd be home at 12.
Yeah.
It's not 2.
Sometimes I would be like I would be a woman in a man's field and be like, I'll be home at 11, and they'll, like, rock in the door at, like, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. So I had his number from this. I was like, right, I think we should go to Windermere for the day. And we'll go swimming in the lake and we'll, like, have some drinks and stuff.
I didn't know about this.
This was a nice surprise we were planning for Simone.
I think I was, like, in my depression era. And, like, they were both like, oh, how do we help? So they were planning something really nice, and I just assumed...
She saw my name on his phone.
And I was like, I crashed out so hard.
She thought we were having an affair with each other.
But I didn't bring it up until
like months later to me.
When I was drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're fucking my boyfriend. Like,
I
what? Hate you.
And what?
And yeah, it turns out I was just really delusional. But I think it all stems back to that story.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, that's
like,
understandable.
Yeah, so Disneyland's supposed to be like, you know, give
a
you like such good memories and such a magical place.
And now you get PTSD.
Yeah, it just didn't give me the memories that I paid for. So but yeah, have you got another one?
I do.
Okay, go.
Alright. So I was seeing a guy, not officially at the time, but close enough that expectations were expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, boundaries were there. We had an unspoken thing, like, oh, this isn't just hookup culture, this is going to be like
something in the near future.
Yeah. And, like, we never named it, but we didn't need to. And
sometimes labels put pressure on it though.
Yeah, exactly. He was supposed to come with me to a funeral. Not just any funeral. I'm talking, like, one of those funerals where you just need someone to be there next to you. Like, this was someone who was close to me, and it really mattered if he was there or not to me. And for weeks we'd been talking about it, and he was going to be there. And the night before, the night before the funeral, we were talking all day, constant messages while I was at work. Normal, comfortable, nothing felt off. It was, if I got 5 minutes free at work, I give him a text. When I was on my break, we FaceTimed. Completely normal for us. I finished my shift and texted him to say I was heading out and I was going to come meet him. And suddenly it was silence. No replies, no explanation, just the horrible, slow realisation that something had changed and I hadn't been told yet. And so I just went home. I was like, I can't be arsed going around pubs looking for him.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't got time for this. I just wanted a quick glass or two of wine, get my nerves sorted for tomorrow, go home to bed, get up, shower, all that shit. And then about 11 p.m, I got a text from some lass that I know. Hey, are you and so-and-so still seeing each other? Yeah, why? Oh, well, he's in this pub right now and he's hooking up with a girl. And I went, what? And she went, yeah, he's hooking up with this girl. You best imagine I'd never rang a taxi so fast in my life. I rang my sister to meet me at the pub because she lived in town. And I was like, right, I need you to meet me here. And she went, why? I was like, no questions. This is a sister favour. Meet me here now. And then by the time I got to the pub, less than 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, right? Literally, taxi from my dad's house to town. 5-10 minutes max, right? And by the time I got there, he'd already left with her. And I knew the bouncer that was working, so he just let me walk in. I scanned the pub, came back out, I was like, where the fuck is he? And he looked at me and he was like, what? I was like, where the fuck is he? And he was like, oh, he's just left with some lass like 5 minutes ago, literally just before you pulled up. I was like, right, great. So that was it. No goodbye, no honesty, just absence, right? I tried calling him, didn't answer. I found someone who knew this girl.
True Amelia fashion.
I found someone who knew this girl. So obviously I took their phone and rang her.
As you would.
I was going psychotic down the phone. I was going, hello, is this so-and-so? And she was like, yeah. I was like, why the fuck are you in his bed? Get the fuck out right now. And she was like, no, we're just smoking a joint together, it's fine, nothing's gonna happen. I was like, I don't fucking care if anything's gonna happen. Like, literally, if you're not out of that bed in the 20 minutes it takes me to get a taxi and for it to drive there, I'll fucking drag you out the house by your hair and down them stairs. I don't care.
I just realised who you're on about.
Yeah.
Like, I was going full cycle. Like, I'd never done anything like that in my life either. Like, I'm normally a very rational person.
You're a very chill girl.
Yeah. And then, like, I left it. I just went home. I was like, I can't be asked for this. She's had the warning. She's gonna leave. And fast forward a week, he is sitting in front of me on the floor, crying. Like, full on crying.
Like a baby.
Telling me nothing happened. I swear all that happened was we got into bed, we smoked a joint, I started to green out and I had to ask her to leave. He was like, I promise you nothing happened, no sex. Didn't even kiss her. Well, I know that he kissed her though. Because I got told about it. And he was like, there's no betrayal.
No betrayal?
No betrayal. Well, not in his version of events. But what is going on in this man's mind to be like, oh yeah, there's no betrayal. And he kept apologising, saying he didn't mean it, saying he was so sorry that he did this to me. And then he started crying even harder. Not because of what he did, but because he missed the funeral. And it was, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for you. I should have been a better person. I should have been there in your time of need like you were for me. And I was going, yeah, I know you should have.
But instead you were in bed with this jumped up bitch.
And he was like, and then I remember him saying, oh, I didn't mean it, I don't know what I was thinking. And he was like, I'm just so sorry, I just wish that I could take it all back. And he said he was devastated, he wasn't there for me. And I believed him. And somehow, in that moment, I believed him. I went from being hurt to comforting him. I was no longer angry at him, but I felt guilty for being angry. And eventually, I got back with him. Not because it made sense, not because the story added up, but because he cried and I confused his remorse with accountability. And I genuinely felt like he meant it. But he was blaming, it was like he was turning the tables onto me. Like I was the bad person for being angry about all of this. Yeah, so that was me done.
Okay. Right, so yeah, I've got one more story to tell before we jump into the TikTok ones.
Okay.
So this is like one of the most disturbing situations I've ever been in, one of the biggest mistakes of a relationship I've ever put myself in. But yeah, I once dated a guy who wasn't okay, deeply, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, just, yeah. And one night he was just sitting in front of me crying, full on breakdown, talking about how he was still in love with his baby mum. Like, I mean, like, sobbing, snotty, the whole works.
I hope that's how my ex is about me. Not because I want him back, just because I want to have a hold on him.
Yeah. But yeah, and then, like, while he was doing this, he was, like, also hurting himself in front of me, like, literally playing Fruit Ninja. And he expects me to sit there and be like, oh my god, yay. Like, what am I supposed to do in that situation? Like, how can I fix this, man? You're screaming at me like you're in love with your ex-baby mum or whatever. So then, like, I was frozen, confused, like, petrified, because I'd never been in a situation like this before, like, thinking, like, why am I here for this? And, like, how did this become, like, my responsibility? And then because, like, the night hadn't already escalated enough, it turns physical. And he ends up throwing me down the stairs of his flat when we were leaving to go somewhere, like, after he had, like, he hadn't done crying, but after he had done, like, playing Fruit Ninja. And I want to be very clear about this part, like, this wasn't chaos, it wasn't a misunderstanding, it was violence, like, pure and utter violence. Like, it was, like, he was blaming me for the reason that he wasn't with his baby mum, when actually I found out he was actually still cheating on me with his baby mum.
Mm-hmm.
And his baby mum hated me, and understandably, I get it sometimes, but, you know, we didn't really know each other.
Sometimes you have to put yourself in her shoes and be like, what's she being
like,
told in this situation?
But, like, obviously I kept saying to myself, oh, it's fine, like, it's just emotional, he didn't mean it, it wasn't a bad it was a bad moment, and he's not a bad person. But no, he was a bad man, a very bad man, and it come out later enough that he was a very bad man. And looking back at it, like, you know, like my other relationships, it wasn't love, wasn't passion, it was just dysfunctional with potential. And the whole situation where I felt unsafe emotionally, physically, but I was still trying to empathise with him, like, and try and understand where he was coming from. But there's no empathising with somebody who physically hurts you, because, like, once they do it once, they're gonna do it again. Yeah. And he did. And that's a part, like, nobody talks about enough. Like, you don't stay there because you're stupid, and you don't stay there because you're conditioned to believe that they're gonna change, but you stay there because it's like, if I don't, then what's he gonna do to me next?
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really stupid.
Like, it'll make him lash out if I tell him I'm leaving, kind of thing, or he'll find me. Like, you get scared.
Yeah, and, like, what I, like, kind of learned about the whole situation was, like, if your man is crying about another woman, then harming himself in front of you, and then hurting you because you're, like, the closest thing there, like, you're not his girlfriend, you're literally his emotional fucking punch bag. Like, you are not, like, you're not supposed to be in a relationship with this person. And I know, like, some people, if anyone's watching this, like, if you find it hard to leave that situation, leave it, report it, and let, like, authorities deal with it, because it was, like, the one thing that I didn't do, and I tried to handle it on my own. But yeah, like, leaving wasn't cruel, it was either I left that situation or he was going to hurt me, like, drastically. So yeah, I left, and obviously the rumours went around about me. It said that I was a slag and everything like this, and then his baby mum actually was, like, giving me verbal abuse. Anyways! So yeah,
I feel like it's really hard to leave a situation like that, though, because you have all of the thoughts in your head, being like, what's going to happen when I do leave? Like, what's he going to say? What's he going to do? Like, all of that. And then the only way that I was finally ready to leave my ex was I just kept going back until I hated him. Yeah. And that's my own, whenever people ask me for advice on how to leave someone, that's the only advice I can give them. Because it's the only thing that's ever worked for me. Keep going back until you hurt someone.
But, like, that's the thing as well, like, it takes a lot for you to hate someone, especially me. So I've got like BPD, and it's like very hard for me to just hate someone. Like, if I love you unconditionally, then I feel like you love me unconditionally, and it's not like the way that it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do want to say something before we get on to these, because I've had quite a few people message me, because we put up on our social media, like, oh, people tell us your stories about your exes, and like, we put it up on our Insta, our TikTok, and our like personal Snapchats, and I had quite a few people message me saying like, thank you so much for like letting this beaten out for me. I didn't realise how bad it was until I've just wrote it all down to tell you everything.
And like there was one, wasn't there, a girl, and we're not gonna name any names because we don't want to start anything, you know. This is a safe space, and that's what the girl said, wasn't it? Like, thank you for, you know,
making a safe space for her to be able to get the information out there, to be able to talk about it. But like,
her story, by the way, is crazy, but we will get into that.
So, the first one I've got is wild. So, I met him as a flatmate at uni, and about 3 days after we met the flat, we're going on a night out, and we were being very close and touchy. At the end of the night, he was quick to hide in his room. A few days later, we kissed and then decided to start seeing each other. We talked about having movie nights instead of only seeing each other during the daytime, and he would disappear and stay in his room. We went on a date and started sleeping together, which is when he says that he had EUPD, but I think she means BPD.
No, EUPD is
that a thing?
Yeah.
Right. He had EUPD and needed medication. On days he wasn't in lectures, it turns out he would sleep all day after doing drugs all night.
Oh no.
I didn't know about any of this at the start. He had a few times that he would start laughing and get angry, which he called episodes, but it was normally just him hitting himself. Just before Christmas, he went on a night out with other flatmates, but me and my friends stayed in. We did join them for prees, and I made the joke to hold his friend's hand, who at the time was dating my friend who stayed in the flat with me. We were all friends and flatmates. This wasn't anything strange. He then got really angry, and the whole night out he was calling me a slut, a whore, and a bitch. And he came back, and then when he came back, he had food for me, so I said I'd pay whoever got it, and to just let me know who bought it for me. I then headed to my room, and he followed me, even though I didn't ask him to. When he got into the room, he locked the door behind him and began one of his episodes.
Oh no.
Yeah. But this time, I just sat there on my phone. Instead of giving it attention, I hoped it would fade away. Which is when he started shouting at me. He was saying I'm pathetic and I'm not worth his time, which is when he stood up and punched my photo frame that I had on my wall. After doing this, the blood and glass went all over my room and his eyes started popping out. I was then crying and screaming, to which he then started shouting at me more, asking why I was crying and saying it's my fault and I'm the slut. He then grabbed my desk chair and threw it towards me, but luckily I moved out of the way in time. Then he threw his own TV, which then broke. Finally, my friend that stayed in managed to get into my room. I'm still not sure how she did it because the door was locked. She got him out of the room and locked the door whilst I'm screaming because there's blood and I had no clue why he was doing this. Keep in mind there's other men that live in this flat and none of them went to go help her when they heard the screaming.
Fuck those men.
Fuck
those men.
She says the girl who went to help her was the smallest person who lived in the flat, and this man towered over her, and she still managed to get into the room to drag him out and help.
So what the fuck were these men doing?
Hiding, apparently.
Apparently? And then let, like, the smallest girl in the fucking flat be like, oh, I'll go and sort this out. Instead of fucking being, sorry, I hate using this phrase, but instead of being a man and protecting a female when another man is getting angry and smashing throwing stuff at them. What?
Yeah. It gets worse.
That is awful. Oh my god.
It gets worse.
Oh no.
He then went in the hallway and threw a fire extinguisher through the flat door and went into the kitchen saying he was looking for a knife. At this point, there was blood everywhere, and he then asked for his phone and medication, which my friend gave him. Once he calmed down, she took him to the hospital, and I had to call security to help with cleaning up the glass, because obviously we're on a campus. The next day, he was kicked out of uni, and I was sent to the uni therapy. I stayed in a relationship with him, which now I realise I shouldn't have done. He moved to the city I went to uni at, where he then started not seeing me because he was too busy, but he was really doing drugs and trying to get me to try them. We had an incident on St. Paddy's Day. God.
Oh no.
We had an incident on St. Paddy's Day where he had an episode in Blackpool and got arrested, so I had to call his dad to help me. And the reason we broke up was because I went home for summer and got a job, which he wasn't happy about, and he decided to send me videos of him slitting his wrists, trying to overdose on drugs and drinking a full bottle of gin neat. He then tried to call me whilst doing this. I woke up to all the videos and photos and had to call his dad to go and get him. The police got to his house, which he then held a knife up to his throat and had to be sectioned. He wanted me on his safety plan, and that's when I realised this was not normal. This is not how a relation works, and I finally left him.
I am speechless. Like, I am never ever speechless. That is
insane.
Yes.
It is insane. I told y'all these were deep.
I hope that you are safe now, and I hope that you're at peace a little bit, and we hope that you are healing, or at least healed from this.
Yeah, I know this person personally, and I can tell you she's so much better now. She's in such a better place. The therapy really did help her.
I'm so glad. Like, that is insane.
And I don't know how, people have such strength to go through things like that. I'm like, oh my god, I can't actually remember what we were saying. We've had to cut it, pause it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm
glad that she was brave enough to tell the story and let us talk about it.
And we're so thankful that you trust us, and you this is a safe space for you to do so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love you so much. That is insane. But yeah.
Do you want to go for one of yours?
Yeah. So mine are quite short. The ones that I got sent weren't full on stories, but they're quite short, but they're quite things. So the first one that I have is, I had an ex who told me that I was only allowed to go out 6 times in the year. That included nights out, festivals, music events, everything. By February, I was on number 4. And she was only allowed to go out 6 times.
Jesus Christ.
That is insane to me. But yeah, these ones are so small.
Put someone onto a limited number.
Oh, you can only go out this many times, you can only see this many people.
What if you have 6 family members' birthdays to attend?
No, literally, that is so, it's just so insane.
Or work events.
Mm-hmm.
Or literally anything else. A holiday. And you've booked a holiday to a festival.
Uh-huh.
Jeez. I've got another long one.
Is this the TikTok one? Yeah. If you do that one, and then, do you have any more after that one?
1.
Okay, well, you do your 2, and then I'll read these ones, because mine are all quite little short ones. And snappy, so I'll just do them together.
Okay. So, this was sent to us from someone on TikTok, and again, I'm not going to keep any names in it, but she says, saw the post on here about crazy exes. My ex was a total psycho, and we have a group chat now for what we call his victims. Originally it started with small lies and things, but it very much escalated. I'll call him Richard for this. Richard's lies started with telling me about his past experiences with women so that I feel more comfortable doing it with him. I didn't find out I took his V card until after the relationship was over, about a year later. He once told me that after a party when everyone else was sleeping, it was a trip away, that I threw my tampon at him and ran around naked, asking me to catch him. I had nothing to drink. I had several of my female friends staying in the same room as me that night, 2 of which were incredibly light sleepers and would have noticed me getting up. And I've never worn a tampon, I only wear pads. Now that was the light-hearted stuff. He tried to convince our joint friend group that he was part of an MI5 operative group and that his best friend blew up in a whale. Yes, I typed that quite right. A whale. Not only did he get offended when we didn't believe him, he also purchased a fake pew-pew and fake documents to try and prove himself. He didn't realise his ex-girlfriend's email was the one attached to his Amazon account.
That's a pie laughed at.
Meaning she received the confirmation email. She was part of the group still and immediately showed us all. Now, onto the potentially really triggering stuff. There is mention of staged horror and potentially attempted unaliving of another person. So that's my warning. Richard decided it would be fun to fake that his house got broken into while he was at home. He FaceTimed me at around 2 in the morning, claiming 2 masked men entered the property and that he was hiding upstairs. He then refused to let me call the police, claiming that it would interfere with his current MI5 missions.
I can't get over that part.
Dumb, I know, but I didn't have his address at this point, so I couldn't exactly do anything else. After about 5 minutes of him whispering he loved me and to not forget him, he said he was going to fight them off with his pew-pew. Yes, the fake one from the earlier story. Teenage me was terrified and panicking and unsure where the lie started and the delusion ended. But that's the joy of toxic relationships when you're younger, I guess. He didn't call me back until about half an hour later. I'm aware I could have called anyone else in our friend group, but I was deep in that manipulation and he basically made me believe that if I told anyone else, he would be in danger. It's not funny, and I know
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's just the extent of the lies that this man has gone through.
When he called me back, he had smeared ketchup on the walls to replicate the red bodily fluid and scare me further, saying he was scared to unalive. He was fine. There was no one in the house, and as I said, it was confirmed ketchup. Next was the time I was looking for comfort and came to his house because his mum had given me a key. I was at a very low point in life and we both used humour to cope. So when he asked me what he could do, I said, unalive me? It was a piece of humour, very much normalised in our friend group and never actually meant as he and everyone we spent time with would know. Instead of laughing along and moving on as we typically would when one of us said this, he proceeded to give me a hand necklace until I passed out and fell backwards, where he lost his grip and let go. I then made sure another one of our friends who lived close by came by too, so I wasn't alone with him for the night. If she hears this story, she'll know who I mean, so thank you to her. And then the hand heart things, love that. Oh, a week after we broke up, he moved on to my best friend and then another girl in my newer group of friends. Sorry for the long-winded story. I'd like to clarify, I was a minor when all of this happened, and I've worked through the trauma and I am in a good place now. I live with my long-term partner and and he helps me cope in healthy ways. It's possible to recover from your trauma, and even if it feels silly what you put up with, it doesn't make the trauma or recovery any less real. And if anyone has their own Richard, don't blame yourself for believing the lies and listening to the manipulation. It's one of the harder lessons I've learned from this experience, but the one that's allowed me to best build my life back from the ruins I thought he let me in. Also, screw you, Richard.
Screw you, Richard.
Screw you, Richard. And then she goes on to send us like a little private thing at the end.
But we read that yesterday and we were like, Gobsmacked, I'd probably say is the best way to describe it.
It was just like, how does someone come up with these lies?
Yeah,
like an MI5 operation.
Oh my god, I'm in the MI5 and my friend blew up a whale.
No, blew up in a whale.
In a whale?
In a whale.
Oh, yeah, even crazy. Like, it's just so concerning that somebody can lie like that.
Yeah. So the next one I have is only a small one, so I'll say that and then...
Yeah, and then I'll do my ones.
So this is another one that I got, and it was only like a little paragraph, and it says, my ex punched a guy and fractured his skull and almost killed him. He got arrested whilst I was on the phone with him and got a 6-month suspended sentence.
For nearly killing someone?
Yeah. A suspended sentence.
Is this who I think this is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Girl.
Doesn't go to say whether she stays with him or not.
I hope not.
I hope she didn't.
If you're watching this right now, I hope you did not.
Stand up, girl. Stand up. But no.
But yeah. So, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little ones.
Okay.
So the first one is, I let my ex go on a night out for him to then come back home, tell me he'd slept with another girl in Little Car Park. And that he was so sorry, and obviously I forgave him, but then he did it again. Not once, but twice. I still let him come back in the end. The girl ended up throwing up on his penis. Not my proudest moment. But yeah, and then that was all she gave me, and she didn't actually tell me whether she stayed with this person after that. And then the next one is, I was once with a guy who said I was odd because I was crying about my mum dying, and then this man proceeded to make my mum's funeral all about him.
I would be fuming about that.
Like, how can you be so self-centered?
I hate men who can't handle when women have emotions.
No, literally. Like, what is your...
Why are you pissed off that I'm crying?
Literally. Like, why are you so insecure that I'm crying?
Literally.
Like, but yeah, and... So, the next one is... My ex, from when I was 17, wouldn't stop cheating on me. So I asked him if he wanted to have, like, you know, an open relationship. So, like, we didn't have to break up because I didn't want to break up. He was like, no, I don't want to see you fuck other people. But he wanted to fuck other people.
Adding 2 and 2 and getting 5 right now.
Literally, like...
How?
And then, this is also from the same girl. So when I was 14, maybe 15, the police had contacted my carers. Obviously she was in care, and the fact was that my boyfriend at the time had murder materials on his computer and that I was in danger.
What the hell?
I stayed with him 2 months after that.
Is this like, are we talking like the weapons?
I do not know. I need
to know more on this.
I
You're
know.
watching this. I need the details.
Like, yeah.
Hit me up on Insta, send me a DM, find my Snapchat.
And then my last one is, so let me just say something. If this girl's girlfriend is watching, hi Pookie, I don't like you. So I found out that my ex was cheating on me, so I blocked her, as you do. She then got all of her friends to make TikToks saying that I have nits, and they were all tagging me in it like it was something to be proud of, and they were just all around terrorising me, like literally on all social media. All the while, she now is making Skype accounts using Text Me Now apps just to get in contact with me.
Oh my god, she's got herself a stalker.
But yeah, so I think that is all the ones that I actually have. Yeah, they are all the ones that I have, because the other one was the MI5 girl, and that's which one I had. But yeah.
So we're gonna end up wrapping up here.
We're gonna leave you to sit with
Just
that.
sit with all of these.
Yeah.
We don't really. It's not really much of a conversational pod today.
No.
But I feel like it's been quite a nice light-hearted one, considering it was a traumatic one.
If any of you guys like want a part 2 of this, then like send us some juicy stories that you have.
We have still got a few that haven't been used, so we are thinking about doing a part 2 later down the line.
We kind of might have left it a little bit too late when we posted it, but
it's fine. Yeah, we're last minute girlies. You'll learn that about us. But yeah, so I'm gonna say bye. And
hey guys,
don't forget to
like and subscribe
and follow all of our socials.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Follow all of our social medias because you know we need all of you to like add us. Also, actually, I was looking, 80% of you guys who watch us aren't even following us.
They're not subscribed.
No.
Right, subscribe
right now.
Like right now.
Right here.
Chanel's saying it as well. she's
going right here. But yeah, so right now. Right. Anyways, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye guys.